All right, you're welcome to Slayers. Last week we were talking about how our fashion events are helping to promote our fashion industry into the international market. We touched on a lot of things and we are still continuing with same topic. My name is Madeline Ade. Join us on social media. Facebook is SlayersTV, Instagram, Twitter is SlayersTV GH, and on YouTube is SlayersTV Ghana. We want to hear from you. So I was talking about if it's even necessary for, us to have international designers on our fashion week. Raj, take it.
It is necessary. It depends on the theme, okay, basically. But most of, just like the same way these international designers look up to for inspiration from here, okay, that's the same way. So they inspire our designers, okay, some way, somehow, because okay, seeing yourself with other top designers on the same runway, okay, I feel it's more of like a plus, okay, to them. You get to also learn, okay, you get to also see their, little mistakes and all that. So it's helping some way, somehow. Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you normally invite international designers?
We get a lot of international designers, but it also goes back. It depends on how you look at it. Is it we doing a show wanting designers to come on board, or is it designers looking for a platform to showcase? Okay. It's not necessary for us to have international designers. We can do a show without them. Okay. But it's the designers who are saying, hey, we want to expand our business in Ghana. We want to find a show to showcase on, just as I'm sure as a brand here would look at other countries where he feels he wants to make business. Okay. And then if they see that in Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week Accra or Accra Fashion Week, then they apply and we vet their work and then we put them on. So it's more or less, is it necessary for them to come and showcase here? Right. That's where...
Right. Abate, do you agree with him?
Yeah, I agree. As a designer, so far as you're probably crossing barrier to other country, you are an international designer. That is how they see it.
Yes.
If even I move from Ghana to Togo,
Nigeria, okay,
I'm international designer. Yeah. The same way I want to probably extend my tentacles to other parts. So it's good. It helps in business and to get a brand out there. It is good. So it's not something that we can probably say we can just do our own show. We don't want to invite or lock ourselves and do what we are doing here. In other words, what we've been selling to. Because we want to do the show to get outside. The same way people are out there also want to get into our market. So it's loud up. And we learn from each other. I have designer friends. When they come, we share notes, we compare things and look at their work. Okay, fine, this is what I'm not doing well. I think I can probably take a 2 or 3 from this person, and we compare notes and we move on and we progress in what we do. So it's good to have designers, outside designers, what we think as international, coming and we also going out. Okay. It's good.
Right. What about the media, international media?
Well, it's very necessary. It's very necessary because, like when we started last week and we were talking, we mentioned that we don't have boutiques here that are stocking clothes from our own designers, so the buyer culture is out the picture. But before the buyer culture comes in, there has to be demand. Like people have to want to buy a brand here before the shops. These shops might not be supporting, but they are also in their lane of trying to make business. Why would they put a brand here if no one comes and asks for a brand here? Why would they put this designer if no one asks for this designer? So it's the media that's going to take the brands to that level that will make us say, put down the Giorgio Armani and wear a brand here. Yes. And when it gets to that level, then we see the business. So if getting international, like we always have international media. We've had Daily Mail, BBC, CNN, a whole bunch of things that I've covered Accra Fashion Week. And that's what, and one thing about Ghanaians is we usually, and this is Africans as a whole, we usually appreciate our own when we see the West appreciate it. Then we know that Abrante is a top designer. Yes,
and he's doing the right thing.
So the international media, because of our culture, is actually very necessary to the shows.
Yeah, the same thing happened during Mercedes-Benz when we had CNN feature. You could see models and all that. It was just going on social media. We were just sharing it and all that. But if it was an in-house medium, we see it to be a normal thing and all that.
Even so if it was more popular there.
Yeah. So it's good to have international platforms on.
But do you sell the content to international media?
Yes.
You do?
It's necessary.
Do you do that? Do you sell your content?
At this stage, the aim is to expand as much as we can, to the likes of some of the mainstream fashion weeks. So at this stage, it's more like let's spread our tentacles out. Then when it gets to that level, then we.
So what can we do collectively to promote the local fashion into the international market?
What we can do, which I'm going to include myself in that criticism.
Yes, you have to.
Is we can all start
it's
wearing.
It's very necessary. That's why you guys are
wearing,
here.
You know, Abrante is wearing his own top. You know, I'm not wearing. Actually,
oh, okay.
Really, actually, I usually, Abrante can detest that. I usually always wear African, but today was just an inconvenient day.
Okay.
But that's the first step when we start buying it, because if we look around the studio, if we go out in town, we're not wearing these, and the shops are not going to buy from Abrante in those large numbers if we don't give them the reason to, because it's all business. So that's the first step. You know, I mean, we're doing well in Ghana, at least. If you compare it 3 years ago, now our celebrities are embracing it.
Yes, on the red carpets, the work Fridays.
You know, but it's going to take a large amount of the public to start supporting, so it really grows in bulk. Okay. You know, we make sales in bulk. So when Abrante comes, he's not asking, "Oh, I've sold to 3 people." He's like, "No, I've sold to 3 stores that are buying in these numbers," and that will only happen when people start embracing our local brands.
Okay. Abrante, what can we do collectively to promote our local fashion industry?
As Nana said, we have to embrace what we have, appreciate it, and push it ourselves. If we are not embracing what we have and trying to push it ourselves, trust me, nobody will push it for us. I just want to give a typical example. Patapa One Corner became a hit because Ghanaians took it and all very well, Patapa One Corner, and then it traveled to other countries. Okay. So if we are not embracing it and pushing it that way, it wouldn't even travel out.
Okay.
Just imagine if people are pulling you down. Somebody wants to probably buy an Abrante, and you tell the person, "No, why do you want to buy Abrante?" And the same person telling the person, "Why do you want to buy Abrante?" will see and smile, "Hello, how are you doing?" It's not helping. It's not helping. We have to embrace what we have and drag ourselves up. The fact that somebody is probably getting there doesn't mean you should hate on the person or he thinks he's there, so let's see what he can do. These are things, the small things that we do to ourselves always bring us down.
Okay.
We should hold each other's hands and pull ourselves together.
Okay.
If somebody is probably getting something wrong, you can talk to the person in good faith. Instead of talking back of the person and backbiting, it really kills us. Holding each other's hands, let's promote what we have here, embrace what we have. As Nana said, he's not wearing made in Ghana now, but trust me, I know he's somebody who always put on what we produce here. If you are producing more and people are wearing it, we'll be able to push our brand and it will go outside.
All right. Raj.
Okay, they said it all. You know, one particular issue in the industry is, I mean, we are not united, basically. There's no unity in the fashion industry. Everybody has his own, you know, agenda. You know, and that is not really helping. The backbiting is just too much in the industry, too much in the industry, such that people even go and tell your sponsors, "No, I think you should take him off." It's funny. Sometimes they pay bloggers to write articles after your event just to, you know, paint you black. That's how serious it is in the industry. So till we get united, the industry will be down. We just have to be united. And another thing is that we should also, how do you call it? Most of the times after we do our shows and everything and all that, the media also have to support in some way somehow so that, you know, because it's our own. And if we are showing 90% of our content on television, which is foreign stuff, and we are not pushing our stuff, it's a big problem. I mean, take a bad news, the press or the media will just do press conference about it. They'll grant interviews about it and all that. But how many designers have seen the designers work on the runway and say, "I love this. I want to interview you. What inspired you?" You know, that thing. Okay. But we don't have that. Okay. But if it's a bad news, oh, just 1 second, it will spread. All
right, you're still watching Slayers, where everything stays absolute class. Get interactive with us on social media. Facebook is SlayersTV. Instagram, Twitter is SlayersTVGH. Let's take a break. When we come back, we still have more with you.
Hello, my name is Francis Abutni. I'm the head of digital marketing. Welcome to Powerful Create.
Welcome back. You're still watching SlayersTV, and Nana Tamaklo is here with us. Abrantia, the gentleman, is also still here with us, and Gideon Raj is here with us. I want to find out if bloggers are being paid to sabotage maybe event organizers or even the fashion designers. That's a tough one.
For me?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if, I've not really got bad press on Accra Fashion Week, so I won't really know. But yeah, there are some individuals within the industry that, you know, and I think it's such a positive show, they shouldn't really be acknowledged. But there are people that will pay to bloggers to undermine designers out of competition, events out of competition, and it's really disgusting because that money they spend could have actually have been developing their own platform, and unfortunately they take the other route. Okay,
yeah. Abante.
I'm not a blogger, so I can't probably say much about that. Okay. But yes, as I rightly said, the backbiting is there. Whatever it being to tarnish a show,
someone's image or a show, why would you even do that?
It happens. It happens. Trust me. There are instances that people who work with events at the long run, they turn out not to work with them again, and they'll tell you all the things that were happening while they work with the person, and realize, oh, this same person who sees you and smiles with you, this is what he or she has been doing behind. So it happens. It happens.
All right, but can we buy clothes that we see on the runway? Maybe there's a first timer who is saying Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, and then the person wants to be there to buy maybe one of your collections. Sure. Is it, I mean, cool to buy?
It depends on the designer. Most of the designers, the collection that they show on the runway, they won't sell that because it might just be there's a monotype for that they are going to produce from it. Some too, they can probably sell it to you right there. I've had instances that for Mercedes show, somebody bought the clothes from the runway. Even in South Africa, somebody just bought the clothes right from the runway. It happens. If you want to sell them, you can sell them. But most of the time, it's a little bit on the high side, buying right from the runway. It happens. People do buy, and it's good. At least you feel as a designer, you feel, okay, then that means if I get the collection mass out there, it's going to do well.
Okay. What are some of your challenges as a fashion event organizer, Nana?
I think the main challenges that was at the very start was just the budget, you know, finances, sponsors, that sort of stuff. But and then obviously, you know, you're doing a show, you want to create a platform for designers, but the more relationship you have with the designers, the more you learn what you need to add on, like some of the criticism Abrantia was putting on today. So it's like every step we understand what the designers want and we fight to make that happen. The other challenge is just general, you know, sometimes some of the things as well the designers want to criticize the event organizers for. Most of them understand, but some of them don't understand that certain situations is not up to the event organizers. Like in Ghana, we don't have mega stores, we don't have buyers, we don't have multi-brand stores. I mean, we have a few, but you know, not enough to create business. So sometimes you have certain designers who are in Ghana who feel like, oh, our fashion shows, they don't have buys, but it's not the fashion shows. It's the fact that that's the culture in Ghana. We haven't put aside the American imports and the Chinese imports. So those are the main challenges. But other than that, the other purposes that serve designers for fashion shows, we're not having problems with that. They're happy with the branding, the promotion, the acknowledgement, the media, the press, and that sort of stuff.
Right, Raj.
Well, he said it all. Yeah, he said it all. The budgeting, of course, which is mostly the issue and all that. But I mean, the culture of not buying at fashion shows too is another major issue. Unlike, you know, if you go to Rwanda now, currently now, they've restricted all second-hand clothing and all that. And now, I mean, designers in Rwanda are being embraced. They are producing even boxer shorts, shirts, singlets, everything made in Rwanda. I wish we could have a Ghana like this, where we would have a fashion for Ghanaian designers, where everything will be made in Ghana. With that, we'll go forward. I mean, yeah. So basically, these are the minor issues that, you know, we face in the industry.
Okay. You know. Abrantia, as a designer, what are some of the challenges you also go through?
One, me, from my side, I would say the fashion shows in Ghana here, as we all rightly know, they are not buyers on the show. A designer will probably spend a lot and put up a collection together. People don't come to me and go like, oh, I saw this on Mercedes, can I have it? I want to buy, I saw this on this show, I want to buy it. Most of people who buy products from us, it's probably through mine, word of mouth, or they probably have seen somebody want it and they like, or somebody, a friend referring it to them. So the fashion show is just to probably get our name out there.
Yes.
Then you're supposed to spend a lot of money getting a collection done. Then spend a lot of money paying to be on the show. It's different if, at least, as Nana said, it might probably just be a normal registration fee or something. But where you have to probably pay a lot to be on the fashion show, where you know very well that that show is not probably even going to bring you that returns that you are paying. It turned out to be a problem. For me, I'm here and I get invitation to shows outside. They might probably pay for my airfare, they give me accommodation, and they'll probably run with it.
Please share with us your experience, because we know you have traveled a lot and been on international platforms.
If I'm getting an invitation outside, it might probably be a show that I'm so eager I want to be on. And if they tell me to pay and I look at my finances, it will be good for me looking at the return. If I'm paying, it's going to benefit the brand. Voila. But most of the shows that go outside, they pay for it for me. They pay for flights, accommodation, runway. Most of the shows will tell you, okay, runway, they are giving runway for free, find your own accommodation. And South Africa menswear, you just have to find your own accommodation. They give you the runway and everything for free. But where you are in Ghana, you know very well the show is not going to bring that return regarding to the amount that they are taking you. And I'm not talking about their show. It might probably be a show from a brand that you've never heard before. They want you to be on their show. You know very well you're even bigger than that show. Then they want you to take money. And if you tell them you can't be on a show, you give them reasons why, it is like, oh, you think you are big, so you don't want to be on our show. These are some of the challenges as a designer I face. But if I know I'm being on Raj's show, I could probably get returned. Maybe Raj is also looking at, okay, a brand is a brand that I could probably use to go along with my brand and will help me have a brand on. It's a win-win for, if it's Raj or mine, it's a win-win. But where the brand is, the fashion brand is kind of low, and they want you to be on and still want you to pay. Once you know very well that the pay that you're going to pay, they're not going to earn that return. It's a little bit of a problem. That is where my challenge comes in.
Okay. How is the media helping in promoting our fashion industry? Are they even helping at all, Raj? As
I said earlier, if it's a bad news, they would publish. It will spread across. Some few media houses are doing their best. Some are trying very well and all that. I mean, that one I can say, but most of them are not helping.
But do you go to them?
We do.
That is what I wanted to ask.
Yes, because
I wanted to ask them what is the structure for the fashion? Okay, there's a fashion event. What's the relation with the media? Because I'll probably refer to South Africa. Before you probably receive an invitation from South Africa, they will list all the media that will be present at the show. And trust me, after your runway, the media that will move to you just to interview you, you know at least you're having 10 or maybe 20 media houses carrying your brand. But here,
they don't have a relation with the media.
That's why I'm saying that. I mean, some way, somehow, some few media houses have been good to us. They've been consistent with us and all that, but not all of them. So there are some media houses that, okay, fine, I'm interested, I'd want to be on board. There are some that they won't even show interest.
But when they come that they are interested, when they come and then they are interested, what do you tell them? Do you accept? Because I called you, do you remember? And I don't want to go into that. I don't want to even go into that. Okay. Do you understand? Sometimes you guys are not open. And then the moment you say one or two, I'll pull back.
You feel like you're okay.
Even if I'm supposed to even post to you, I won't do that. And then maybe you feel I don't want to be a part, but I wanted to be a part.
These are the things designers look out for before they end up on the show. So if I know probably there are going to be about 20 media houses on Mercedes-Benz, I know at least if I don't see a lot of audience at the show, the 20 media is going to carry it to their TV portals, their magazine, their online. These are things that we look out for. So if probably this year I review and I didn't see a lot of media talking about Mercedes, let's say you call me, I'll go like, oh, then that's when it turn out. If they can't tell you no right away, they start giving you excuses.
But Raj mentioned that they sell their content to the media, some of the media houses.
International media houses.
What about Ghana? Do you sell?
With Ghana, most of the times there's a barter with the TV stations. So sometimes
because you can't even sell to them.
You barter with airtime to play your commercials. Let's say you have your next year's edition, or you do a barter. Those times Viasat1 was in existence. That was what we're doing most of the times and all that. But then with the media buying, then it's more of like, let's say, Fashion One on DSTV and all that, because they need the content so much. They need it so much from scratch to the end and all that. So yes, with the international medium, it's with Fashion One per se. It's working to buy. Yeah.
Because I don't think they need it so much as you need it. So if you don't get to them, they won't be bothering you.
Yeah. From what Raj is saying, those needing the content is different from the mass media that we, the designers, need to send our brand outside. For me, every fashion show, some of the key things, getting the right media. If it's masses, get them to be at the show so that they can carry us out. Then we come to the structures, we go to backstage and models and all that. Before we look at other things like getting the cocktail stand at the fashion show and all those things. Those ones are luxury, they come in. But what the designer, the main thing is the fashion week. The fashion show is for the designer.
Yes.
So what the designer wants is what you get the designer. So if, let's say you can probably have your media press, whatever it is, and you have about 20 strong, solid media, you know after every day show, they are putting it out there. Other portals are going to carry it. Then I guess, yes, we are on. But when it goes that way, it helps us to, at least you can probably see a lot of reposts from other portals and it helps us. But where the repost is only coming from, if it's Mercedes, only from Mercedes page, if you don't do, the designer don't push or try and get other bloggers or to push the show that you probably have on Mercedes, then what is the essence? Then you can probably sit down, have the collection done, you yourself assemble the 20 media people to push it out. It's even worth more than the fashion show. Am I making sense?
Yes,
here?
you are. You really are. But the media is not helping, right?
Well, as I said earlier, I mean, some are being helpful and others too. Yeah.
Okay. Nana, do you think the media is helping?
Well, the media is not just one, collection, set of people. They're different. You're here, you're putting us on, so you're helping.
Right.
But then another TV show would say, before you come on, you're going to give this money. And that's the thing, it's like what Abrantes said, it's like, not to contradict him, but it's like he'll say, if I do this show, then, I get this media, then why don't I just sit home and get the media myself? And this is what I'm trying to say. Why don't you do both? Because, like I say, if you were in the West and you wanted to be part of the Fashion Week, you'd be organizing the whole show by yourself. But because now, here is what Raj and here is what Nana has put in on the table, then it's like, okay, I won't do this bit. I'd either do it or I'd sit home and do it by myself. And that's the mentality that's going on. Yeah. The media is like the primary thing because they're the ones who are going to create this demand. But again, we're in a different type of setting. We're in a different type of country. In the West, they'll be paying Raj to play his show. They'd be paying people who do shows. The TV channels will be paying you for your content. But in Ghana, when you create your TV show and you do all your filming, you have to pay them.
Yes.
Whilst they get
they get the content.
Exactly. So everything is reversed. So now it's like when we're getting the media, yes, at the same time, whilst we're also making sure we can put the certain structures in place, we also now have to budget for media for them to come and go and make money off adverts playing our stuff. So we're in a very revolutionary position.
But that's why you have the others. That's why you have other small, shows there that can push not only the main TV station. Because if you decide to take your content to the TV station, that's what you're saying. You will pay. But the small TV programs, the online people, and trust me, the online, they are selling more than even the TV shows.
Yeah. But then those small ones too only want to come when they know it's already big, and it's the big ones it's still a matrix.
They have advertisers who pay for their shows and all that, and then they play your content there for free. Trust me, you're not getting money from gate proceeds. I mean, you're not making much money. So the little you make from media buying and all that, that's how come sometimes it's very hard to make decisions, especially when you don't know the platform so well and all that. You have to be a bit careful before you give them that accreditation and all that. I mean,
Right. It's an event like Accra Fashion Week solely for Accra, Ghana?
No. It's like, again, it's the platform. So it's we're trying to open the market in terms of either the efforts we're putting in with buyers or the media. And then it's if you feel you are ready to want to tap into that audience or that base, then you register. So we have designers. In fact, in 2017, we had over 30 different countries involved in Accra Fashion Week. Right. And that was the highest number, I think, in Ghana fashion, or in Africa, you've had at one fashion show at a time. So we just open the platform. It's a platform. Okay. You know, instead of, like I always say this, because I always say this, I'm looking at it from the West coming down here. So it's like, instead of you doing your own show with your own models, your own media, your own press, this is our effort, and then you pay much less, but it's still something, but you then come and showcase, whether you are from Ghana or you're from abroad.
Abanti, have you been to the Accra Fashion Week before?
I was there, I think, when they had the awards, the edition that you had the awards, I was there to actually have a feel of it. And yes, they are doing well compared to other fashion shows that I see. But as in the brand Abanti being on it, not yet. We are still in talk with myself and Nana. We are still in talk. As I always say, I look at certain things. If everything goes well, yes,
I'll
definitely be on Accra Fashion Week.
Nana,
that one is a fact.
You need to have Abanti on it, too.
You'll be on.
You need to have him on it. Now, Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week has been held in Australia, New York, Russia. How are you using that platform to promote our local fashion industry into the international market? It's already in the international market.
Exactly, yeah. So some of our designers have had the opportunity to show on some platforms of Mercedes-Benz. Like
Ghanaian designer?
Yeah. Okay. I've had the platform to showcase. Who? Christy Brown. Okay. Christy Brown, I've showed that was in Cape Town. Okay. That was in 2015. Okay. Showed there and all that. And currently now what we are doing is that we are about running this promo. That's from our next year event. That is the Seat Show. Now the Seat Show is a sub show where the most talented designer get the chance to showcase on all these big platforms you are talking about. We have Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week Australia and Berlin as well. So if you are the design, that is more like a fashion competition. Okay. And that is not determined only by us, but also with the whole Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week group is called Daimler, determined by Daimler. Okay. So that's how we are doing to promote our designers and all that. And aside that too, I mean, most of the times when we have the chance to go outside and all that, we talk about our designers. We talk about, they ask, oh, what designer is making the waves all in Ghana? And I mentioned Abanti and other designers and all that. He knows that. He knows that. So, I mean, we are getting there, but, you know, Ghana, our fashion market is growing. So we are not there yet, unlike Nigeria, where you can say Nigeria is a big market. Yeah. But we are growing gradually.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Our time is up. We will be expecting, I mean, a lot from you guys. Abanti the gentleman, thank you so much for coming. Gideon Raj, thank you so much for coming. You're always welcome to Slayers. You guys are always welcome to Slayers. Anytime, everything fashion, please, this is a place to come to. Thank you guys so much for watching the show today. A very big thanks to Go On Energy Drink for sponsoring the show. A big thanks to Hair Highness for my hair, confidential makeup artistry as well. And to you, one more time for watching the show. My name is Modlinade. Good night.
Hello, my name is Francis Abudi. I'm the head of digital marketing. Welcome to Power Create.